Galaxy Surfactants, which is well delivered third quarter numbers. The top line growth was at 14%. However, the bottom line was impacted perhaps a bit by the compression in the margins, which came in at 41.9 crores on the profit front. So let's discuss the numbers with Mr. Shekhar, the MD and CEO of Galaxy Surfactants. Mr. Shekhar, thanks so much for joining in on ET now. I think if we have to look at your numbers, the standalone performance was good, but subsidiaries and even the slowdown in Egypt essentially spoiled the party, it seems. So what were the challenges that you witnessed, especially on your international business, and also any sort of tailwinds from the currency movement?
India has been on a roll. I think India has been very, very buoyant for the first 9 months of the year, and we expect the tempo to continue. As far as Egypt is concerned, we had a decline for this specific market. Egypt constitutes about 19% of our total volumes. However, for the other countries in the Africa, Middle East, Turkey region, we have grown for the first 9 months year on year by about 9%. The rest of the world has been an outperformer, and we have grown by almost 29% for the rest of the world. So overall, as far as this year is concerned, despite the decline in the local Egyptian market, our volume growth has been about 7% for the first 9 months, and this has been much higher than the market growth across the world, because the global growth of the HPC industry has been around 1 to 2.5% or so. And India volume growth has been about 10.5% for the home and personal care industry, and we have grown at about 2 to 3 percentage points higher than the market growth as far as India is concerned. So we have had a healthy growth of the EBITDA for the first 9 months, and then PBT growth of almost about 20% for the first 9 months of this year.
Okay, Mr. Shekhar, good morning. Now, your specialty products as well, you were talking about the kind of strong volume growth you witnessed, and that on a standalone side. So, decent volume growth of nearly 20%. How do you see the growth between specialty products and the performance of surfactants shaping up over the next 1 to 1.5 years?
See, for us, both these categories are very important. The performance surfactants are particularly important in emerging markets, including India, whereas the specialty ingredients for us, the target markets are the matured markets like US and Europe. We have had a pretty healthy growth of the specialty ingredients at about 20% for the first 9 months of this year, aided by the work done in the last 3 years. As you know, our product platforms for the specialty ingredients are the non-toxic preservatives, the mild surfactants, the sunscreens, the proteins, and these have grown pretty well in this year based on whatever work that we have done in the previous 3 years or so. So we are seeing the specialty ingredients growing pretty well in the coming period. But the percentage between performance surfactants and specialty ingredients is just a number for us. What is important for us is the volume growth on both these categories. As you know, we are in the process of final implementation as far as our performance surfactants capacity at Jagadia, which is expected to go into commercial production by 1st of April this year. We are also considering certain capexes for our specialty ingredients, but these will get crystallized later in the year.
So you answered my question. You answered my question on capex as well, sir. So I'm just going to ask you on margins now, because I think there has been a bit of compression over there. What's the reason? And based on the order book and overall growth projection, along with, of course, your new plants, which, like you mentioned, one of them is in final stages, where do you see the EBITDA margins range for FY20 versus this year?
See, your margin compression, possibly you may see it for the quarter. That's why we would like to take the 9 months period, because quarter on quarter volatility gets neutralized or moderated over a 9 month period. Now, for the 9 month period, of course, we have had a 6.5% increase in the EBITDA per ton, for this year compared to the previous year. So we have, and this is aided by obviously the mix. The more percentage of specialty ingredients in this first 9 months compared to the previous year. So we have seen a growth to summarize, our volumes have grown by about 7.4%. EBITDA growth has been about 14.5%. EBITDA per ton has grown by about 6.5% year on year. And the PBT has grown by almost 19% year on year.
We'll let you go on that note then. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining in with a